Hello, everyone, and welcome to another round of podcast here at Inquisitors of India. Today, we are going to talk about the transport aircrafts in context of Indian military. And to talk with us, we have a military times. So, hello, military.
Hello everybody.
Yeah, so Military Times, firstly, thank you on behalf of our listeners for being our guest today. Uh, Before we begin, like, can you give us a brief background of uh, about yourself and what interests you in this particular topic?
Okay, so as everybody knows that my name is Military Times. That is a fictitious name given to me by my friends, and I like it. And I am a defense enthusiast. Uh, Being an army brat from the childhood, the things that fascinated me were artillery, weapons, and aircrafts, and in that too, transport. Transport aircrafts are the major things that fascinate me because they are the workhorse of any air force, and also they have something that just blows everybody. Uh, that's it.
All right. So, military, can you tell us about the importance of the transport aircrafts?
Okay, so I would go like this, that one can say that an air force is known by its compact jets, but the most important aspect that makes an air force a dominant force in the region is the management of logistics and supply chain, which is done through a wide variety of cargo aircrafts ranging from small to large. Transport aircrafts are generally used to airlift troops and military equipment to support the military operations worldwide. They can also be used for strategic and tactical missions and are often used for emergency relief missions.
Okay. And what are the different types of transport aircraft? Like we hear about a strategic airlift, tactical airlift. So, can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, so basically, there are two types of transport aircrafts. One is strategic and another one is tactical. Mainly, there is no structural modification, structural difference in both of these aircrafts. But strategic airlifter is a aircraft which involves moving materials for a very longer distances, whereas as tactical aircrafts are used for deploying resources and materials with high precision for on a specific location. All in all, the strategic airlifters are used to perform operations overseas, and tactical airlifters are used for some strategic missions like deploying some uh, resources like supplies, fuels to specific locations to supplement your troops at the borders.
Okay, yeah, that explains it. I want to ask you, where do we, India, currently stands in terms of its transport fleet?
Okay, so uh, transport aircrafts are divided into two types. One is the fixed wing, and other one is a rotary wing. Starting with the fixed wing, we operate a wide variety of aircrafts, uh, ranging from heavy lifters to medium to VVIP transporters. Uh, Speaking about everybody, uh, in the heavy category, we have the C-17 Globemaster, uh, Ilyushin IL-76, popularly known as Gajraj. Uh, we have then coming down, we are going with, according to the weight it can lift. So another the so next one is the C-130J Super Hercules. Uh, then comes is the AN-32s. Then uh, HS-748 Avros, and then for the VVIPs, we have some Boeing 737s, and some Embraer ERJ-145s. And
All right.
also coming to the rotary wing, we have Mi-26, Chinooks, we have ALH Dhruv, and also some Mi-17s.
Okay. And what are plans for future?
Okay, so coming to the plans of the future, let us just uh, ta- trace the history of this. Indian Air Force firstly went into a joint venture with Russia for the development of medium transport aircraft or MTA, which is a aircraft transport aircraft which had a which had a cargo capacity of 20 tons, but India backed off it mainly due to the technology transfer and the work sharing agreements. Also, India has variety of aircrafts on offer. India is in the final stages of procuring 56 Airbus C295 transport aircrafts and is expected to sign this deal in the current fiscal year. Also, India has an aircraft on offer from Russia, which is the IL-114, but it is highly unlikely that India will procure it. Also, India has an offer of Antonov AN-132s, which is jointly developed by Saudi Arabia and Ukraine. And also, Indian Air Force is upgrading its current fleet of AN-32s to the modern standards.
All right. Uh, Most often we come across this question like, what should be the best replacement for IL-76? So, should it be an A400M or should it be the Kawasaki C2? Can you compare like both of them?
Uh, Currently, India operates around 14 IL-76, which are in good shape, but they can be brought to the modern standards by upgrading them. But if a need arises to replace them, I think so. Airbus A400M would be a better choice. And there are two points that could go in favor in its favor. Number one is that Japanese constitution post World War doesn't allow them to uh, sell any defense weapon or military equipments to any of other country, uh, and hence it is highly unlikely that they will supply Kawasaki C2 to India. And other one is the rising Indo French cooperation, and hence we can very well expect that India can procure a 400M if the need arises.
All right. And these days, military, we often hear about this term called Atmanirbhar Bharat. And we have also seen that coming into our indigenous development. Recently, we saw the order for 83 Tejas MK1. So, do you think, what do you think about our indigenous programs in transport aircrafts?
So currently, India is developing its own transport aircraft, uh, which is under some are under trials, some are on paper, and some are under development. The Like Saras Mark One, it has undergone its first flight, and it has some aircraft orders from Indian Air Force. Not much, but there are some around 14 to 15 aircrafts. And Saras Mark Two is on the design board, and NTA 90 is in the planning stages. And also, if we take the rotary transport aircraft into the context, we have the HL IMRH, which was recently showcased at Aero India 2021, and it would replace the Mi-17s in service with Indian Air Force.
Yeah, glad that you brought about that IHL's IMRH, which was recently unveiled, as you said, at the Aero India show. So, what's the current status of it?
Uh, the 3D modeling is done, and the HL is waiting for the funds and the go ahead for the project, and is currently undertaking the feasibility studies uh, and selection of the engines for the helicopters so as to power it, and also it is undertaking the work sharing with the private companies so as to what components will be built in house with in collaboration with the HL, and what would be outsourced to private companies.
All right. And why do you think like we are not making or buying seaplanes? Like, don't you think it can be good for search and rescue or like moving men and materials to the islands?
Seaplanes are a very potent platform, but the problem that arises is that seaplanes are expensive to build. Like they require a lot of R&D, and to infuse like $1 billion as R&D, and just giving orders for around 15 to 20 aircrafts doesn't satisfy doesn't feasibly is not feasibly possible.
Okay. Also, like there are thoughts around to convert our unused assets of Air India to transport aircraft by modifying it to the military level. Do you think that is feasible and can be done in near future?
It can be done, but the thing is that you are talking about Air India fleet, right?
Yeah.
So Air India operates around 200 aircrafts, but around only 79 to 80% are owned by Air India. Rest all are on the lease, and 80 and to maintain the operations of Air India, like it doesn't have the enough reserves of the aircrafts that can be used, and also Indian Air Force has enough wide body aircrafts. What India needs is the medium transport aircrafts, like the ones to replace the AN-32s in capabilities.
Okay. And which plane do you think should actually replace AN-32?
And the most possible is the, I think so. C295 should replace it, because in the modern day warfare, you can't have an ecosystem of transport aircrafts. You need to bring out the commonality in them. Like in the fighter jet ecosystem, India operates a wide variety of fighter jets, and each one comes with its own logistics issues. So that's why India is now going for commonality. So like India is having around India will have around 160 Tejas Mark II, around 140 AMCAs, 114 MMRCA selected fighter jet, and other rest are short. In the same way, in the transport fleet, uh, one Indian Air Force should have commonality. Like if we are procuring about 56 transport aircrafts like C295, then we in the near future to replace the AN-32s, we should have the same C295, because it would bring down the logistics cost, and also will enhance the aerospace ecosystem in India.
All right. Military, generally, like we see, like there's lots of concerns in people about our wartime capabilities. Now, talking in terms of our transport aircraft, do you think in time of a war we'll be able to move our assets towards the borders as soon as possible, or do you think like we need to buy bigger aircrafts like C-17, or we should rely upon smaller aircrafts as we do?
Seeing the current modern day warfare, the size of the aircraft doesn't matter. Like if you have to transport heavy artillery or tank, you need a heavier aircraft. But if you have to supply the logistics like the fuel, the ammunition, the uh, food, then you can do it from smaller aircraft like the pelleted aircraft pellets which can be airdropped. So like giving you an example that if a war is broken between India and other country, then what India will do is that India will deploy its heavy artillery through heavy aircraft like C-17s and IL-76, and will paradrop the supplies near the borders using other aircraft, so as to optimally utilize the assets.
Okay, so you think we are optimally prepared to tackle such a scenario?
Yes, definitely.
All right, that's very optimistic. And on that optimistic note, let me thank you on behalf of Inquisitors of India and all our listeners. So that was it from us, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.